other, and then the cooler stuff will get separated between the two
Meet
boats.
Kelly Savage. She was a master sergeant among the first wave of female aircraft mechanic personnel stationed in Spain, Philippines, Panama, Okinawa, and multiple deployments to the beautiful Middle East. She is also among the first group of female veterans aboard Ghost Ship Warriors, and since has helped prepare for every single trip, welcoming these special guests aboard and making sure they have everything they need for a successful and memorable experience. More than the supplies she brings, she makes everyone feel welcome, safe, loved, and appreciated. It was an honor to have been able to ask her a few questions and let her share her experiences with you.
I joined the Air Force in 1984. I came in because I came from a military community, though my dad was in the Navy many, many years before I came along. He did one stint, but my family always hosted and supported the military as they came back from Vietnam. I remember as a child, all these young men always in and out of the house, and they were coming back from Vietnam because their first port was Long Beach, and I just always had it in my head that I would be in the military. So I myself enlisted in a non-traditional career field. I was in aircraft maintenance. I was among the first wave of women coming into it. And I went through basic training. It was pretty easy. Tech school, pretty easy. Off to the Philippines was my first assignment, and I had a marvelous time there. I met and married my husband, Johnny Savage, who, we lost 13 years ago. He passed away. Another story. But, yeah, it had its ups and downs there. They did not like women in maintenance at all, but they were determined that I wasn't going to make it, and I ended up outranking every damn one of them when I finally did retire in 2005. So anyway, so I started out on C-130 aircraft. I was a glorified gas station attendant, is what we always called it. I was a crew chief. I slowly, moved through the ranks, like at an average pace. Didn't have any problems there. I was a flying crew chief for a while. Went to lots of crazy places. Thailand, Australia, Korea, anywhere in PACAF. Most of my career was PACAF at the beginning. All of my assignments were overseas with the exception of one, and that pretty much ended up being overseas anyway. I was at Pope Air Force Base during Desert Shield, Desert Storm, so I spent 9 months vacationing in the desert there at Thumarate, and then came back from that and ended up going back to England on a road. Came back from that and got tired of it and went to the Panama Canal for 4 years. That was wonderful. Counter drug operations down there. Same aircraft, C-130s, a little more rank. Then moved over to Okinawa as my last overseas assignment. Again, went to lots of great places from there. I've always been on C-130s. Back to Pope Air Force Base, my only stateside assignment. Was pretty much overseas again there too. Spent several months in the Middle East again. The back half of Enduring Freedom OEF operations, I was at Al Dhafra doing transit alert there. That was a lot of fun. I got to Abu Dhabi, collected up all the airmen, took them off base because nobody would do that. So I ended up, towards the end of my career, being called Mama Dukes because I took care of the airmen, because their own supervisors, they just didn't have that in them. They were too selfish. So I took care of them. I still hear from them. 20 years later, I still hear from them. It's nice. So, yeah, that's my Air Force career. Did some first sergeant stuff at the end. The more rank you get, the more responsibility you get. But they put me on the list to rotate to the desert again, and I'm like, I'm done. I've done my 20. I checked out, and I retired. So, worked out real well. So, and then, of course, I was married to Johnny. I met him in the Philippines. We were married 21 and a half years before he fell ill and passed away, and that put me in the Gold Star bucket. So, I've had some interaction with Gary Sinise, which is a lot of fun. Hopefully this year we can go volunteer with the, what they call it, the Snowball Express. I'm looking forward to doing that. But my philanthropy spirit, I've always had it. I've always been giving back. So then, of course, when I met y'all, it was just so much fun to get to come to Key West and support you. So that's been fun. I've just always given back. It's easier to give than to take. I'm not good at the taking side. I'm better at the giving side. Oh God, yeah. Just last week, Carrie, her and I was on the phone, and Jane, I met her on here, and I talked 2 hours on the phone with her. We still stay in contact. I met some really great folks, and military people has this common golden thread that you always have something similar to talk about, and these trips allow for that. Even though you're no longer in service, you're still in service out of service. I feel as a retiree, my job is to encourage new airmen to come into the Air Force and tell them what it's about. I have encouraged a few to enlist in the Army or the Navy or the Air Force, the youngsters, so you constantly have to do that. You're getting them before they come in and explaining what it's going to be like so that they're not shocked. Tell them the truth about it. So that's fun. So you still have that camaraderie. The build, it continues to go on when you go do trips like this. So you're always an ambassador, either with these sort of events, the retreats, or with just people in general. They thank me for my service. It's kind of weird to respond to that, but I just say, well, I do it for you. I just try to stay busy, just keep my brain busy. I sew. I made a bunch of shirts for the girls on the last trip. That was fun. So I just try to stay busy best I can. Where I live at, I set up events there for people to do things, get them off the cantonment. There's more to life than our little housing area. So go out, meet people, go have coffees with my friends, and just staying active. Stay busy. Don't sink into it, because it takes a lot from you. It makes you nervous in certain situations. I might seem confident, but inside I'm not. I'm nervous about things. But just stay busy and talk to people, reach out, make new friends, people that aren't, comparing war stories. Yeah, everybody's got a story, and there's a time and a place for that. But there's a time and a place to remember that you are a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. That's what it's all about. You got to figure out how to make it work one way or the other, because that's what it does to you. It makes you misshapen. Males that are senior to me, oftentimes are like, because I'm a female retiree. There's our numbers are growing, but not like the male population. The VA is actually recognizing that now, that there are female veterans, and you can't just give them the same fix for everything. That they have to recognize the female veterans' needs. So that's just something that kind of peculiar.
What is the biggest, accomplishment or adventure while in the military that you're proud of?
Taking care of my troops. The boys that still contact me, now that I've been out for almost 20 years, now they're starting to retire. So the friendships that I made, I've got friends from 30, 40 years ago that I still am very close to. As a matter of fact, he just officiated at my goddaughter's wedding. So that solidified him in the circle of my long-term friendships. I love them. They're the family that I got to choose, because we were always overseas. My children were raised abroad, so they had great adventures. Yeah, but I don't wear Air Force retiree hats. I don't have the I love me walls. When people find out that I'm retired aircraft mechanic, they're like, what? The majority of them are pretty stunned. I don't wave that flag. I just kind of humbly go about my day. That's it. I don't feel it's necessary to draw attention to that. But everyone's different, and some people, they still live there. I don't. Oh, that's fun. I do their menu planning. I do. It's easier where I live to gain supplies, so I will spend a few days loading up on the supplies, freezing the food that can be frozen, and the logistics of it. It's just, and it gives me a reason to come down and hug everyone's neck and come to Key West and meet everybody and send them on their way. I'm still doing the Mama Duke stuff. I just do it differently. So it's fun. It's fun. We get to support in that way. And it frees up Steve and Perry to focus on the mechanics of things and making sure the seaworthiness of the two boats that go and get it together. So just one less thing they have to worry with. You know, that's just, I pick up and do that. And I love doing it. It's just, I feel like I'm still supporting them, still giving back. It's just my way to give back. It's easy. So, and you know, I hope to do some fundraising for them. I've got some ideas. I just got to get them going. But we'll get there. Yeah. So coming soon, we're going to be raffling a cruise. That's my plan. It'll be all automated. Somehow. I'll figure it out. Yeah. But that's what we do.